Chapter 15. Beautiful Places to Visit. The USA has some of the biggest cities in the world, and more than 3/4 of its people live in cities or towns. This means that there are also some very empty places, which have not changed much since the first Europeans arrived. The government has kept some of them as national parks. Beautiful natural places where people are not allowed to build houses or factories. Many artists have photographed the beautiful parks of America. One of the most famous is Ansel Adams, who was born in San Francisco a few years before the earthquake of 1906. Two of his favorite places were Yosemite in Northern California, which has been a park since 1890, and the coast of California. Traveling north from California, you come to Oregon and then Washington. These states are cool and wet, but very beautiful, with big forests and high mountains. Here you will find a number of national parks like Mount Rainier and Crater Lake. The wonderful Rocky Mountains are in the states of Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, Idaho, and Utah, and are great for holidays. Walking, climbing, fishing, hunting, and horse riding are some of the things visitors enjoy here. You can also enjoy winter sports in places like Aspen, where there is a lot of snow. The only big city in the Rockies is Denver. Also in the Rocky Mountains is Yellowstone Park, in the states of Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. It is famous for the geyser called Old Faithful that shoots hot water up into the air up to 55 meters high. Salt Lake City, the capital city of Utah, is next to a lake that is much saltier than the sea. If you try to swim in this lake, you will find that you cannot stay under the water. South of the Rockies is the hot, dry state of Arizona, where the land has fantastic colors. Not just brown and green, but red, pink, orange, and blue. The most famous place in Arizona is the Grand Canyon. This deep river valley was made by the Colorado River cutting through the rock many thousands of years ago. Today, it is 1,600 meters deep, 446 kilometers long, and between 0.4 and 24 kilometers wide, with rocks in extraordinary shapes. You can walk down to the river, but it will take you 2 days to get there and back, and you must take plenty of water to drink. Next to Arizona, New Mexico is another hot, dry state, where farming is difficult and the ordinary people are poor. But many artists have also come from other parts of America to live in and around Santa Fe and Taos. One of the first was Georgia O'Keeffe, and there is a museum of her work in Santa Fe. In the Badlands National Park of South Dakota, visitors remember the Sioux who fought and died at Wounded Knee. But the Black Hills of Dakota are famous for Mount Rushmore, where the faces of 4 American presidents, Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt, were cut in the rock. It took 14 years, from 1927 to 1941. You can see them in the Hitchcock film North by Northwest, where Cary Grant nearly falls from the mountain while he is trying to escape. Canada and the USA meet at the 5 Great Lakes, which are an important route for ships traveling from the Atlantic to the Midwest along the St. Lawrence Seaway. The famous Niagara Falls are between Lakes Ontario and Erie, These waterfalls are 51 meters high. You can look at them from the top from Canada or the USA, or you can take a boat trip and see them from below. Together, Lakes Erie, Ontario, Huron, Michigan, and Superior cover 244,108 square kilometers, more than any other group of lakes in the world. If you go there in the summer, it is almost like going to the sea. You can lie on the beach or sail a boat. But in winter, it is very cold. Thousands of kilometers south of the Great Lakes is the state of Louisiana, which used to be French. The Mississippi River is 3,778 kilometers long, and in the 19th century it was an important route between the North and the South. Mark Twain wrote wonderful stories about life on and around the river. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, 1876, and Huckleberry Finn, 1884. Next to Louisiana, the state of Mississippi was also the home of several great writers like Tennessee Williams and William Faulkner. Together, the states of Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island are known as New England. Autumn, or fall as the Americans call it, is a good time to visit New England, because the leaves on the trees turn yellow and orange and red and gold. October